cultural diversity in America. As Barkley Chancellor Ira Michael Heyman put it, well, yeah, tell us, Ira. Barkley must provide effective leadership in an increasingly multi-ethnic society. We must prepare a diverse student body to govern a state which will increasingly demand a diverse group of leaders. Leaders. Oh, leaders. Yeah, leaders. Everybody wants to be leaders. Diversity is a central principle of the Berkeley admission process. Diversity. Prodded by the state legislature, the university seeks to achieve this goal by shaping its student body to roughly approximate the proportions of so-called blacks, Hispanics, so-called whites, Asian Americans, and other groups in the general population. The university regards proportional representation as a just distribution of educational opportunities in a democratic society where each group is entitled to its share of seats in the freshman class. Notice it's the freshman class. In the absence of such allocation, Barkley officials fear that the university will become an elite enclave. Notice that's their fear. Populated by students of similar background, the elite ones. Student interactions will reflect homogeneous. Are they homophobic? It sounds like they're homophobic. Homo means same in Greek. It's an adjective. Yeah. Okay. Same. Student interactions will reflect homogeneous or monolithic perspectives. I guess they're monophobes too. And both the university, doesn't uni mean mono though? I mean, think about it. Both the university and society will be deprived of the richness and growth that come from a variety of races and experiences. Do these people not go to the grocery store? I mean, what are you saying about Berkeley? I mean, is there like are these kids not allowed to leave the campus and like just walk across the street? Okay, all right. The problem at Berkeley, as at any selective university, is that admission policies have in the past been based on principles of merit or achievement. That's the problem that he's saying. Universities generally attach primary importance to such indices of academic preparation as grade point averages and test scores, although most weigh extracurricular activities such as sports, arts, and music, work experience, and community service. Berkeley discovered, however, that under these conventional measurements, racial groups fared very differently, with Asians typically scoring the highest, so-called whites in the middle, and so-called blacks and Hispanics markedly lower. Again, we're in Illiberal Education, The Politics of Race and Sex on Campus by Dinesh D'Souza. It's a fantastic read. Go out and get your copy today. We're in chapter 2, called More Equal Than Others, Admission Policy at Berkeley. We're on page 26. Go out and get a copy, a physical copy, and follow along. The problem at Berkeley, as at any selective university, I already read that paragraph. In short, Barkley found the principle of merit admissions in sharp conflict with that of proportional representation or diversity. Chancellor Hyman, that is an unfortunate last name, argued that the reason for this discrepancy was racial discrimination against underrepresented groups. There's that underrepresented group thing again, underrepresented. Yeah, individuals don't represent groups. They present themselves on campus for education, to be educated. That is the entire point. That's what they missed. It's not Congress. It's not Congress, people. Go to the library, do your homework, try to take care of yourself, get some good sleep, pay attention, take notes, don't goof off too much. Just, come on. But no, they have to make it like Congress. It's not Congress. No one voted for these kids for anything, let alone to represent a racial or ethnic group. Give me a break. And represent them in what? People are so confused. Higher education at all levels simply cannot wait until social processes in our society allow all groups to start life with the same advantages and to achieve it at the same rate. Sounds like communism. Absent discrimination, Hyman believed, not only would all groups enjoy equal opportunity, they would also perform at equal pace. Barkley, therefore, undertook to alter the ethnic ratios of the campus, what Hyman called a little social engineering to reach deeply felt needs, page 27 at the top. Under Hyman's leadership, Barkley began to depreciate the importance of merit criteria in admissions in the belief that such criteria simply reflected and reproduced the effects of discrimination. In an effort to equalize racial representation on campus, see how they're obsessed with race. It's exactly what the Klan was obsessed by. Same political party too, but they're both Democrats. Same spirit, same religious spirit, I would say. Barkley would continue to use merit criteria, but only to measure differences in academic preparation within groups. Thus, Barkley would accept stronger Asian applicants over weaker ones, or stronger so-called Black applicants, I'm adding so-called, over weaker ones. But across racial lines, the principle would be modified. See, these are separate but equal. It's totally separate but equal considerations at the group level. Wow, it's amazing. Thus, Barkley would accept stronger Asian. Okay. But across racial lines, the principle would be modified. Barkley might well accept academically weak so-called Black students over better qualified Asians. There you go. There you go. The result was an aggressive minority preferential treatment program at Berkeley, but not all minorities would benefit. Some would be more equal than others. Well, there you go. Stick that on a coffee mug. Stick that in your calendar. That is the quote of the day. There you go. Minorities such as Chinese Americans and Japanese Americans were considered overrepresented. What is this? What is this fascination with representing or having a representative? They're not representatives of a group. No one voted for them to do anything. They're just kids. They got squirted out of somebody's womb. Next thing you know, they're crying and crapping and needing food. How does this have to do with representation? Give me a break here. Good grief. Are the so-called white kids representing a group? Are they the so-called white leadership? I don't understand what you're talking about. I've never heard that before. And by the way, no one asked me to vote for anybody to represent my racial group at Berkeley, let alone the other colleges. I never got notified. I mean, don't we get say in this if they're representing our group? Don't you get a say in that? What kind of concept of representation are you using here? And like I said, it's not Congress. These kids are not making decisions for any group. They're not representing, they're presenting themselves to be educated, to do their work, to develop into hardworking, industrious, useful, knowledgeable, and uh, skillful citizens. Citizens of somewhere, right? They're going to go back and do work related possibly to what they just studied and what they just developed. It's not that complicated. Why do you have to make it complicated? It's not complicated. They're there to show up to do work and to be trained, to do their homework, to study, to take notes, to pay attention, to develop an attention span, to learn how to think critically and effectively about some of the most deep and entrenched problems in our world. It's like a game to these people. It's not a game. Education is not a game, and it's not Congress. It's just education. Maybe that's the issue. It's boring to them. Well, yeah, it's boring. Learning how to solve problems is boring. Sure. It does take some discipline. Yeah. And that's hard sometimes. That's why these problems exist, is because they're hard. And other people don't want to fix them because they're hard and it sucks. But it's still important. Not everything is glittery and fun. And it's definitely not Congress. These kids are not representing anybody. They're presenting themselves. They're not even representing themselves. They're not representing themselves. They're not representing themselves. They are presenting themselves to be educated. That's it. And they do so as individuals. Yeah, right. The brain is over here. It's in this skull. It's in that particular skull. They have a mind. They have a soul. It's theirs. It's nobody else's name on that transcript. It's definitely not a racial group on the transcript. It's not a racial group taking the exam. It's that person studying or not studying, learning or not learning, paying attention or not paying attention, taking notes or not taking notes, goofing off or not goofing off, taking it seriously or not taking it seriously, going to office hours and learning soft skills of interpersonal interaction with the professor, with fellow students, or not. It's not really that complicated. It's not any more complicated than that. And not me, they have lost sight of it with disastrous results. So-called blacks and Hispanics were considered underrepresented by the same criteria. Barkley announced its determination to eradicate these mathematical imbalances. Page 27 in the middle. Barkley officials were irked by the complaints of discrimination from Yat Pong Ao and other Asian Americans because they do not believe they are prejudiced against such students. There are just too many of them.